Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. So Thursday's a big day. There's a deadline coming up. What's it for exactly? And what are we looking at here?
Okay. So the voters of Santa Fe in March changed the city's constitution, which is called the city's charter, and they decided if they were going to do redistrict council seats, that's kind of the boundaries of where council members serve their constituents, it wouldn't be done by the city councilors anymore, it'd be done by the citizens. So in the city constitution, they created this independent Citizens Redistricting Commission. And so that was one major change to the city constitution that happened this year. The other major change is in January, the city annexed a huge set of block of voters, and so now the districts have different populations, and the fundamental principle in the law is that each district has to have the similar number of citizens. And so we have our first opportunity here to employ this Independent Citizens Redistricting Commission to kind of reallocate the voters and to make the numbers more even. So as you mentioned, the City Council passed the plan that sets up this commission, the memberships, and it turns out that the deadline for applying for one of these seats is this Thursday, close of business at the city clerk's office. Now you can download the application on the city's website, but since you have to verify it legally, you'd have to hand deliver it. You can't just scan it in. But it's available prominently on the website to download. And tonight at the City Council, I'll be there with some staff with a table, and we'll have copies of the application. So citizens can come by, pick up the application, hopefully fill it out, and by close of business Thursday, they can deliver it to the clerk, and we can have a pool of possible candidates for this commission.
So this is an issue that gets to the very heart of, I think, everything we do, democratically speaking, in the city, in the state, in the country. Redistricting is such a major process, but is often so overlooked. It really is about guaranteeing, one person, one vote, equal representation for everybody across the city. Normally we would do this every 10 years, is that right?
That's right.
But it is this, because of the annexation, we've got a very lopsided, is it districts 3 and 4 that have a higher percentage of the population now than they should?
That's right.
And so those folks out there, that, there are ways you could look at it and say their representation is being sort of watered down. This won't result in additional council seats, will it?
No.
Just in a reapportionment of population?
By the city constitution, it has to be the 4 council districts with 2 councilors per district. So there's not going to be any new changes in that. It's just trying to figure out how to balance out those principles that you explained, and having the citizens, not the politicians, decide that.
Got it. Okay. So it's a 7-member commission. Who are the 7 members that are on the commission?
That's right. So there's a spot for a citizen and a registered voter from each of the 4 districts. So that's 4s right there. There's a spot reserved this particular time from someone from the annex area, with the idea that to make sure that population's voice is heard. And then also, since there is kind of a scientific element to this, there's a spot for a statistician and a spot for a geographer or a cartographer. Now, there will be city funds available to hire a consultant, so it's not like these people are going to have to figure out all the math and the statistics by themselves, but by having these 2 professional occupations, you'll have someone with that background that I think will help everyone else kind of understand the data.
Absolutely, absolutely. So do the citizens who are applying, aside from the very specific, the statistician, the geographer, the cartographer, don't need to be, so they don't already need to be experts in redistricting or in policy or in elections or anything like that to participate, because there will be city staff, and as you said, there'll be a consultant on hand to help with that.
That's right, and in fact, we borrowed a lot of information from other municipalities that have these type of commissions. And there's a lot of prohibitions to keep the politicians off. If you're a current politician, if you've run for office within a certain number of years, you can't get on. So the goal of these commissions throughout these municipalities is to have the citizens make the decision. But there'll be technical experts available to help them to make the best decision.
Should take, working ideally as it should, takes the politics out of it and results in truly fair representation for all different geographic areas of the city.
That's right.
So what are the restrictions? Who can't apply? Let's put it that way.
All the information is on the website, and so there's quite a few to make sure that so you can't be a sitting politician. You can't be related to some sitting politicians. You can't be an officer in certain political organizations. So there's, you can't be like a paid campaign worker. So these are prohibitions that we've borrowed from other cities that have worked in other cities. And the comprehensive list is on the application. And so citizens have to check boxes so they'll know if they're eligible or not eligible.
Got it. Excellent.